The Great Sphinx of Giza stands silent, its weathered face gazing out over the sands of Egypt as it has for thousands of years. But what if this iconic monument, long believed to date back to the reign of Pharaoh Khafre around 2500 BCE, is far older than we've been told? What if the Sphinx holds secrets that could rewrite our understanding of ancient history? For centuries, this colossal statue has captivated explorers, scholars, and dreamers alike, its origins shrouded in mystery. Today, we're diving into groundbreaking theories that challenge everything we thought we knew about the Sphinx. From erosion patterns that suggest a much earlier creation to connections with lost civilizations, we'll explore evidence that could turn the timeline of human history on its head. And as we uncover these clues, you might just find yourself questioning not only the age of the Sphinx but the very nature of our past. So, let's embark on this journey together and see what secrets the sands of time have hidden from us. Standing proudly on the Giza Plateau, the Great Sphinx of Giza is more than just a monument, it's a symbol of ancient Egypt's enduring mystery. With its lion's body and human head, this colossal statue gazes eastward as if guarding secrets lost to time. For centuries, it has captivated explorers, scholars, and dreamers alike, its weathered features whispering stories of a civilization that once thrived beneath the desert sun. Traditionally, the Sphinx is attributed to Pharaoh Khafre, the ruler believed to have commissioned it during the 4th dynasty, around 2500 BCE. This timeline places its construction alongside the pyramids, suggesting it was part of a grand architectural vision. The Sphinx's face, some argue, even bears a resemblance to Khafre himself, further tying it to his reign. For decades, this explanation has been the cornerstone of Egyptology, shaping how we understand this ancient marvel. But what if the Sphinx is far older than we've been led to believe? In recent years, a growing number of researchers and archaeologists have begun to question the traditional narrative. They point to geological and archaeological anomalies that don't quite fit the established timeline. For instance, the erosion patterns on the Sphinx's body suggest it may have been exposed to heavy rainfall, something that hasn't occurred in Egypt for thousands of years, long before Khafre's time. Could these marks be evidence of a much earlier origin, dating back to a time when the climate was drastically different? This isn't just speculation. Some experts argue that the Sphinx's core structure might predate the pyramids, making it a relic of an even more ancient civilization. The debate has opened up fascinating new avenues of inquiry, challenging us to rethink not just the Sphinx's age, but also the history of human achievement. What if this iconic monument is a testament to a lost era, one that predates the pharaohs by millennia? The mystery deepens as we explore the evidence, and the Sphinx continues to challenge our understanding of the past. One of the most fascinating and controversial theories surrounding the age of the Great Sphinx comes from geologist Dr. Robert Schoch. In the early 1990s, Schoch proposed something that shook the foundations of traditional Egyptology. He argued that the Sphinx shows distinct signs of water erosion, patterns that couldn't have been caused by wind or sand, as many had previously assumed. Instead, Schoch suggested these marks were the result of prolonged exposure to heavy rainfall, the kind of weather Egypt hasn't seen in over 10,000 years. This theory challenges the widely accepted timeline that places the Sphinx's construction around 2500 BCE during the reign of Pharaoh Khafre. If Schoch is correct, the Sphinx could be far older, dating back to a time when the Sahara was not a desert but a lush, green landscape. To support his claim, Schoch pointed to the deep, vertical weathering patterns on the Sphinx's walls, which resemble erosion caused by rainwater runoff. Similar patterns can be seen in other ancient structures exposed to heavy rainfall, but nothing like this exists in structures built during the dynastic period of ancient Egypt. Geologists who have examined the Sphinx have noted that these erosion marks are inconsistent with the dry, arid climate Egypt has experienced for the past 5,000 years. Instead, they align with a period known as the Neolithic subpluvial, a time when North Africa received much more rainfall, around 10,000 to 5,000 BC. This raises a compelling question. Could the Sphinx have been built not by the ancient Egyptians we know from history books, but by a much older, possibly forgotten civilization? Of course, this theory has its skeptics. Some archaeologists argue that the erosion patterns could be explained by other factors, such as flooding from the Nile or even the effects of humidity over time. But Schoch's findings have sparked a lively debate, forcing experts to reconsider what we thought we knew about the Sphinx's origins. If the Sphinx is indeed older than we think, it could rewrite not just the history of Egypt, but our understanding of early human civilization as a whole. So, how does this theory fit with the rest of the archaeological record? If the Sphinx is thousands of years older than previously believed, what does that mean for the timeline of ancient Egypt? Could there have been advanced societies capable of such monumental construction long before the rise of the pharaohs? These are questions that continue to puzzle researchers and ignite the imaginations of history enthusiasts around the world. The Great Sphinx of Giza has long been a symbol of mystery, standing guard over the pyramids with an enigmatic gaze that seems to hold secrets older than time itself. But what if this iconic monument isn't just a product of ancient Egypt? What if it's a relic from a civilization so ancient that it predates even the pharaohs? This idea might sound like something out of a science fiction novel, but it's a theory that has gained traction among researchers and authors who dare to challenge conventional timelines of human history. One of the most prominent voices in this field is Graham Hancock, who argues that the Sphinx, and perhaps even the pyramids, could be remnants of a lost civilization that thrived thousands of years before the rise of ancient Egypt. Hancock and others point to evidence of erosion patterns on the Sphinx's body, suggesting it may have endured heavy rainfall, something that hasn't been common in Egypt for over 10,000 years. If true, this would place the Sphinx's origins in a time when the Sahara was a lush green landscape, hinting at a forgotten chapter of human history. But the Sphinx isn't the only piece of this puzzle. Sites like Göbekli Tepe in modern-day Turkey, dating back to around 9,600 BC, challenge our understanding of early human societies. This ancient temple complex, with its intricate carvings and massive stone pillars, suggests that people in the distant past were far more advanced than we've traditionally believed. Could there be a connection between these sites? Some researchers think so, proposing that these monuments might be part of a shared global knowledge system, fragments of a civilization that once spanned continents. What's fascinating is the idea that these ancient builders might have been trying to preserve something, knowledge perhaps, or even a warning. The precision of their engineering, the alignment with celestial events, and the sheer scale of their creations hint at a level of sophistication that defies our current understanding of prehistoric societies. If the Sphinx and Göbekli Tepe are indeed linked, what does that mean for the story we tell about human history? Could it be that we're only just beginning to uncover the truth about our past, and that the Sphinx is one of the last standing witnesses to a world we've yet to fully comprehend? As we continue to explore these ancient sites, each discovery seems to raise more questions than answers. But one thing is clear: the story of the Sphinx is far from over, and its secrets might just rewrite everything we thought we knew about our ancestors. The Sphinx's gaze has long been a source of fascination, but what if its alignment with the stars holds the key to unlocking its true age? One of the most compelling theories suggests that the Sphinx's orientation isn't just a random choice, it's a deliberate nod to the cosmos. Specifically, its body faces east, directly toward the rising sun during the vernal equinox, a moment in the year when day and night are of equal length. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Some researchers argue that the Sphinx wasn't originally designed to face just any sunrise. Instead, it may have been aligned with the constellation Leo, the lion, during a specific era in Earth's history. This theory points to the age of Leo, a period roughly around 10,500 BCE, when the constellation Leo would have risen in the eastern sky during the vernal equinox. Ancient cultures often tied their monuments to celestial events, using the stars as a kind of cosmic calendar. If the Sphinx was built to mirror the constellation Leo, it could suggest that its origins stretch back far earlier than the commonly accepted date of around 2,500 BC. But how plausible is this idea? Experts in ancient astronomy argue that the alignment isn't just coincidence. They point to the precision of ancient builders who meticulously planned their structures to reflect the movements of the heavens. For example, the Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions, showcasing an advanced understanding of astronomy. Could the Sphinx's alignment with Leo be another example of this ancient celestial knowledge? Some researchers believe so, suggesting that the Sphinx might have served as a marker for a significant astronomical event, perhaps even a reminder of a time when the stars told a different story. Of course, not everyone agrees. Critics argue that without definitive evidence, the age of Leo theory remains speculative. But even if the timeline is debated, the idea that the Sphinx might have been designed with the stars in mind opens up a fascinating conversation about its purpose. Was it a monument to a forgotten era, a celestial timekeeper, or something even more profound? As we explore these possibilities, we're reminded that the Sphinx's mysteries are as vast as the night sky it once gazed upon. And speaking of purpose, this leads us to another intriguing question. What was the Sphinx meant to represent? If its alignment with the stars holds significance, could its very form, part lion, part human, carry a deeper meaning tied to ancient beliefs or cosmic forces? What if the Great Sphinx of Giza is more than just a monumental statue gazing out over the desert? What if it's a time capsule, a vault of ancient knowledge waiting to be unlocked? This intriguing theory suggests that the Sphinx might hold secrets far beyond what meets the eye: hidden chambers, encoded messages, or even records of a civilization long lost to history. In recent decades, advanced technologies like ground-penetrating radar and seismic scans have revealed tantalizing clues. Researchers have detected anomalies beneath the Sphinx, including what appear to be unexplored voids or passageways. Could these be evidence of hidden rooms purposefully built to safeguard ancient wisdom? Some, like the late John Anthony West, have argued that the Sphinx's weathering patterns and architectural details point to a much older origin than mainstream Egyptology suggests. West and others believe the monument may predate the civilization of ancient Egypt, raising the possibility that it was designed as a repository for knowledge from an even earlier advanced society. But how do we move from theories to proof? Exploration beneath the Sphinx is no simple task. The monument is not only an UNESCO World Heritage Site, but also a symbol of Egypt's cultural identity. Excavations and invasive investigations are heavily restricted, leaving researchers to rely on non-invasive methods like scans and surveys. Even then, interpreting the data is fraught with challenges. Are the anomalies natural formations or man-made structures? If they are chambers, what might they contain? The mystery deepens with every unanswered question. As we consider the Sphinx's potential as a time capsule, one thing is clear: the monument continues to captivate us, not just for what we see, but for what might still lie hidden. And with every new discovery, we edge closer to unraveling the secrets it guards. But proving these theories well, that's a challenge of its own, one that brings us to the next chapter in this fascinating story. The traditional timeline of the Sphinx has been a cornerstone of Egyptology for over a century, but what happens when that foundation is called into question? Not surprisingly, the idea that the Sphinx might be older than we've been led to believe has faced significant resistance from the archaeological community. This isn't just about academic disagreement, it's about the weight of established narratives and the challenges of rewriting history. For many scholars, the Sphinx's age is tied to the reign of Pharaoh Khafre, placing it around 2,500 years before the Common Era. To suggest it could be older is to disrupt a carefully constructed timeline, one that has shaped our understanding of ancient Egypt for generations. But why such resistance? One reason lies in the political and academic implications of challenging long-held beliefs. Rewriting the Sphinx's age would mean re-evaluating not just this iconic monument, but also the entire cultural and technological context of ancient Egypt. It could call into question the achievements of the Old Kingdom and shift credit to an earlier, less understood civilization. For some, this is a radical idea that threatens the status quo. And let's not forget, archaeology, like any field, has its gatekeepers. Proposing a dramatic revision to the timeline requires not just evidence, but also the willingness to confront skepticism from peers who have built careers on the existing narrative. Another challenge is the nature of the evidence itself, or rather, the lack of it. Dating stone structures like the Sphinx is notoriously difficult. Unlike organic materials, which can be carbon dated, stone doesn't provide a straightforward timeline. Weathering patterns, erosion marks, and geological studies offer clues, but they are open to interpretation. And while some researchers point to water erosion on the Sphinx as evidence of a much older origin, others argue that similar patterns could have been caused by wind or other natural forces over time. The result, a debate that often feels like it's going in circles with no definitive answer in sight. Yet, despite these challenges, the question remains, what if we've been looking at the Sphinx all wrong? If traditional methods can't provide a clear answer, perhaps it's time to explore alternative approaches. From geological analysis to astronomical alignments, new methods are offering fresh perspectives on this ancient enigma. Could these tools finally unlock the secrets of the Sphinx's true age? Let's take a closer look. The age of the Sphinx has long been a subject of heated debate, and as technology advances, so do the methods used to unravel this ancient mystery. One of the most intriguing approaches is thermoluminescence, a technique that measures the accumulated radiation in minerals like quartz and feldspar. When these minerals are heated, whether by natural processes or human activity, they release stored energy as light. By analyzing this light, scientists can estimate the last time the material was exposed to intense heat, offering clues about when it was last worked or altered. This method has been used to date pottery and other artifacts, but applying it to the Sphinx presents unique challenges. The monument's limestone blocks, for example, don't respond to thermoluminescence in the same way as ceramics, leaving room for interpretation and debate about the results. Another cutting-edge approach is seismic surveying, which uses sound waves to map the subsurface structure of the Sphinx and its surroundings. By analyzing how these waves travel through the rock, researchers can identify layers and features that might reveal construction phases or even earlier iterations of the monument. This method has been successfully employed at sites like the Great Pyramid of Giza, where it uncovered hidden chambers and passages. Yet, when it comes to the Sphinx, seismic data often raises more questions than answers. The irregularity of the limestone and the erosion patterns complicate interpretations, leaving experts divided on what the findings truly mean. These alternative dating methods have sparked fascinating discussions, but they're not without their limitations. Critics argue that thermoluminescence and seismic surveys rely heavily on assumptions about the Sphinx's construction and the environmental conditions it has endured over millennia. For instance, if parts of the monument were repaired or altered in ancient times, would these methods detect those changes accurately? And can we trust the data when the tools themselves are still being refined? The debate over their accuracy highlights just how complex this puzzle is, and why the Sphinx continues to captivate both scientists and history enthusiasts alike. What's particularly interesting is how these techniques have been applied to other ancient sites around the world. In Turkey, thermoluminescence helped date the layers of Çatalhöyük, one of the oldest known human settlements. In Egypt, seismic surveys revealed hidden voids beneath the step pyramid of Djoser, shedding light on its construction techniques. These successes give hope that similar methods could one day unlock the secrets of the Sphinx. But will they finally provide the conclusive answers we've been searching for? Or will the monument's enigmatic past remain shrouded in mystery, challenging us to keep exploring and questioning what we think we know? For centuries, the Sphinx and the Great Pyramid of Giza have stood as iconic symbols of ancient Egypt. But what if their connection runs deeper than we've been led to believe? Some researchers propose that these two monuments weren't just built near each other by coincidence. They might have been part of a grand, unified design. Imagine standing between the Sphinx and the Great Pyramid, gazing at their alignment. Could there be a hidden purpose behind their placement? One compelling theory suggests that the Sphinx and the Great Pyramid were constructed by the same ancient civilization, not just as separate marvels, but as pieces of a larger puzzle. Some researchers point to the precision of their alignment with celestial bodies, arguing that both structures were part of an astronomical observatory or ceremonial site. For example, the Great Pyramid's orientation to the cardinal points and the Sphinx's gaze toward the rising sun on the equinoxes may not be accidental. Could these monuments have been designed to track the stars, mark the seasons, or even communicate with the cosmos? Another angle considers the materials and techniques used in their construction. Both the Sphinx and the Great Pyramid were built using massive limestone blocks, and their craftsmanship reflects an advanced understanding of engineering and geometry. This has led some to speculate that the same architects or builders might have been behind both projects, working with a shared vision. But if that's the case, what was their ultimate goal? Were these structures meant to honor the gods, preserve sacred knowledge, or serve as a testament to human ingenuity? As we ponder these questions, it's worth noting that the Sphinx's positioning relative to the Great Pyramid might hold clues to its symbolic meaning. Some theories suggest that the Sphinx was intended to guard the pyramid, acting as a protector of the pharaoh's eternal rest or the secrets buried within. Others believe it represents a celestial guardian, aligned with the constellation Leo during a specific era. This idea of celestial symbolism takes us into the realm of mystery and wonder, hinting at a deeper connection between the Sphinx and the stars, a connection we'll explore further in the next segment. The Sphinx, with its majestic lion's body and enigmatic human head, has long been a symbol of mystery and power. But what does this unique combination truly represent? For centuries, historians and mythologists have debated its meaning, uncovering layers of symbolism that stretch far beyond its physical form. The lion, often seen as a guardian in ancient cultures, embodies strength, courage, and royalty. Paired with the human head, thought to represent wisdom and intellect, the Sphinx becomes a powerful fusion of earthly might and divine insight. Many scholars interpret the Sphinx as a protector, standing watch over sacred spaces and serving as a silent sentinel against chaos. In ancient Egyptian mythology, it was believed to guard the thresholds between the mortal world and the divine, a role that elevated it to a position of immense spiritual significance. Others see it as a representation of the pharaoh's divine authority, a physical manifestation of their connection to the gods and their role as mediators between heaven and earth. But the symbolism doesn't stop there. Some theories suggest the Sphinx represents the union of opposites, earth and sky, strength and wisdom, the physical and the spiritual. Its lion's body, firmly rooted in the ground, contrasts with its human head reaching toward the heavens. This duality has led some to view the Sphinx as a cosmic symbol, embodying the balance and harmony of the universe itself. As we explore these interpretations, it's fascinating to consider how the Sphinx's symbolic role may have influenced its place in ancient rituals. What ceremonies or practices might have revolved around this enigmatic figure, and how did its symbolism shape the beliefs and actions of those who built and revered it? Let's take a closer look at how the Sphinx's role extended beyond mere symbolism, becoming a central figure in the spiritual and ceremonial life of ancient Egypt. The Great Sphinx of Giza has long been a symbol of mystery, but what if its purpose extended beyond being a mere monument? Some researchers suggest that the Sphinx may have been a focal point for ancient rituals or ceremonies, deeply embedded in the spiritual and cultural life of ancient Egypt. Evidence supporting this idea lies in the structures surrounding the Sphinx. Archaeologists have uncovered remnants of processional pathways that lead directly to the monument, hinting at the possibility of ceremonial processions. These pathways, often lined with symbolic markers, suggest that the Sphinx was not just a static guardian but a destination for pilgrims or participants in sacred rites. Nearby, the remains of altars and smaller shrines have been discovered, further reinforcing the idea of ritual activity. These altars, positioned strategically in relation to the Sphinx, may have been used for offerings or ceremonies tied to the cycles of the sun or the worship of deities. The alignment of these structures with celestial events adds another layer of intrigue, as it implies a connection between the Sphinx and the cosmos. Could this colossal figure have served as a bridge between the earthly and the divine, a place where ancient Egyptians sought to commune with the gods? Adding to this theory, some researchers point to the Sphinx's orientation and the way it faces the rising sun during the equinoxes. This alignment suggests a deliberate design, possibly tied to solar worship or seasonal celebrations. The Sphinx's placement within the Giza complex, surrounded by pyramids and temples, further supports the idea that it was part of a larger ceremonial landscape. Together, these elements paint a picture of the Sphinx not just as a silent sentinel but as a vibrant hub of spiritual activity. But what if the Sphinx's significance goes even deeper? Could it hold clues to a civilization far older than ancient Egypt? This leads us to one of the most intriguing theories of all, the possible connection between the Sphinx and the legendary lost city of Atlantis. Could the Sphinx be a remnant of an advanced ancient culture, one that predates even the pharaohs? This tantalizing possibility opens the door to a whole new chapter in the story of the Sphinx, one that we'll explore next. What if the Great Sphinx of Giza holds secrets not just of ancient Egypt, but of an even older, more mysterious civilization? Some researchers have proposed a fascinating connection between the Sphinx and the legendary lost city of Atlantis. According to Plato's writings, Atlantis was a highly advanced society with technology and knowledge far beyond its time capabilities that some believe could explain the precision and scale of the Sphinx's construction. Plato described Atlantis as a powerful, sophisticated civilization that vanished beneath the waves, leaving behind only fragments of its legacy. Could the Sphinx be one of those fragments? Modern interpretations of Plato's accounts suggest that Atlantis may have possessed engineering techniques that allowed them to create structures of immense size and complexity, traits that align eerily with the Sphinx's design. The massive limestone blocks, the precise alignment with celestial bodies, and the intricate craftsmanship all point to a level of knowledge that seems almost otherworldly. Some theorists argue that the Sphinx's weathered appearance, particularly its body, shows signs of water erosion, which could hint at a time when the region experienced much wetter conditions that might align with the timeline of Atlantis' supposed existence. But could the Sphinx truly be a monument built by or inspired by Atlantis? While mainstream archaeology dismisses the idea, the parallels are hard to ignore. The Sphinx's enigmatic expression and its placement as a guardian of the Giza Plateau have led some to speculate that it might have been intended as a marker or message for future civilizations. If Atlantis did exist, could the Sphinx be its last enduring symbol, standing as a testament to a lost world? The debate continues, with some scholars suggesting that the Sphinx's true origins may rewrite our understanding of history. Whether or not Atlantis was real, the questions it raises about the Sphinx's age and purpose are undeniably compelling. If the Sphinx is older than we think, could it be the key to unlocking the mystery of Atlantis? Or is it simply another piece of the puzzle in humanity's ancient past? Modern technology has opened up entirely new ways to study ancient wonders like the Great Sphinx of Giza. Ground-penetrating radar, for instance, allows researchers to peer beneath the surface without disturbing the structure, revealing hidden chambers and tunnels that have remained unseen for thousands of years. In recent years, this technology has detected anomalies beneath the Sphinx's pores, sparking theories about potential underground networks or even undiscovered rooms. Could these findings rewrite our understanding of the Sphinx's purpose or its connection to other ancient sites? Another groundbreaking tool is three-dimensional scanning, which has been used to create highly detailed digital models of the Sphinx. These scans not only help archaeologists study the monument's erosion patterns and structural integrity, but also provide a virtual preservation of its current state for future generations. Some researchers are even using these models to simulate how the Sphinx might have looked in its original form, complete with vibrant colors that have since faded away. It's a fascinating blend of ancient artistry and cutting-edge science. Ongoing projects continue to push the boundaries of what we know. Teams have been exploring the possibility of water erosion patterns on the Sphinx, suggesting it might be far older than traditional estimates. By combining geological analysis with advanced imaging, they're piecing together a timeline that challenges long-held assumptions. And while debates about these findings remain, one thing is clear: the Sphinx still holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. As we marvel at the discoveries made possible by modern technology, it's worth considering how the Sphinx has transcended its origins to become a global icon. Its image has influenced art, literature, and even pop culture, shaping how we think about ancient civilizations. But what is it about this enigmatic monument that continues to captivate us? That's a story all its own. The Sphinx has long been more than just a monument. It's a symbol that has transcended time, culture, and medium. From the ancient myths of Egypt to the silver screen of Hollywood, this enigmatic figure has captivated storytellers and audiences for centuries. In Egyptian mythology, the Sphinx was often depicted as a guardian, a riddle giver, and a protector of sacred spaces. Its imposing presence and air of mystery made it a natural muse for tales of power, wisdom, and the unknown. But the Sphinx's influence didn't stop at the borders of ancient Egypt. It found its way into Greek mythology, where it famously posed its riddle to travelers, weaving itself into the fabric of Western storytelling. Fast forward to modern times, and the Sphinx continues to inspire. In literature, authors like H.P. Lovecraft and Edgar Allan Poe have drawn on its mystique to craft stories that explore the boundaries of human understanding. Films, too, have embraced the Sphinx's allure with blockbusters like The Mummy and Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen featuring it as a backdrop for epic adventures. Even in video games, the Sphinx appears as a puzzle or a challenge, a nod to its ancient role as a keeper of secrets. This enduring fascination speaks to something deeper. a universal human desire to confront the unknown and uncover the truths hidden within. Artists, too, have been drawn to the Sphinx, using its form to explore themes of time, power, and the eternal. Paintings and sculptures from the Renaissance to the modern era often depict it as a bridge between the past and the present, a reminder of humanity's enduring quest for knowledge. Its image, half human and half lion, serves as a metaphor for the duality of existence, civilization and nature, intellect and instinct, life and death. This cultural resonance isn't limited to the West. The Sphinx has inspired creators across the globe, from Asia to the Americas, each interpreting its mystery through their own unique lens. What is it about the Sphinx that continues to captivate us? Perhaps it's the way it embodies the unknown, standing as a silent witness to the passage of time. Or maybe it's the way it challenges us to think, to question, to seek answers. Whatever the reason, its influence is undeniable, a testament to its power as a symbol and a story. And while the Sphinx of Giza may be the most famous, it's far from the only one of its kind. Across the world, similar figures have emerged, each with its own story to tell. From the winged sphinxes of Mesopotamia to the lion-bodied guardians of Southeast Asia, these counterparts remind us that the Sphinx's mystery is not confined to a single place or time. It's a global phenomenon, as timeless as the questions it inspires. The Great Sphinx of Giza may stand as one of the most iconic monuments in human history, but it's far from alone in its grandeur and mystery. Across the globe, ancient civilizations erected colossal statues and structures that continue to captivate us today. Take, for instance, the Moai of Easter Island. These towering stone figures carved from volcanic rock gaze out over the Pacific with an air of solemnity. Like the Sphinx, they were created with astonishing precision, despite the limited tools available to their creators. But while the Sphinx embodies a hybrid of human and animal forms, the Moai are distinctly human, their faces etched with expressions that seem to hold secrets of a bygone era. Then there are the terracotta warriors of China, an army of thousands buried to guard the tomb of Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Unlike the Sphinx, which stands as a singular sentinel, the terracotta warriors are a collective force, each figure uniquely detailed and lifelike. Yet, both monuments share a common thread. They were created to serve a purpose beyond the mortal world, whether as guardians, symbols of power, or conduits to the divine. The sheer scale and craftsmanship of these creations speak to the ingenuity and ambition of ancient societies. What's striking is how these monuments, separated by vast distances and cultures, echo similar themes. They were built to inspire awe, to convey authority, and to endure the passage of time, but they also leave us with questions. How did these ancient peoples achieve such feats of engineering? What drove them to invest so much labor and resources into these enduring symbols? And perhaps most intriguingly, what can these parallels tell us about the shared human impulse to create something monumental, something that outlasts generations? As we explore these global counterparts, it becomes clear that the Sphinx is part of a larger tapestry of human achievement. Each monument, whether it's the Moai, the terracotta warriors, or others, offers a glimpse into the values, beliefs, and capabilities of the civilizations that created them. Together, they form a mosaic of human history, one that invites us to ponder not just the mysteries of the past, but the enduring legacy of our ancestors. When we think of the Sphinx today, it's hard to picture its surroundings as anything other than the arid desert we see now. But what if the landscape wasn't always this way? Climate change over thousands of years may hold some clues to the Sphinx's origins and the challenges it has faced. Some researchers believe that the region around the Sphinx was once lush, green, and fertile, a far cry from the barren sands we associate with Egypt today. This theory ties into the controversial water erosion hypothesis, which suggests that the patterns of erosion on the Sphinx's body resemble those caused by heavy rainfall, not wind or sand. If true, this would imply that the Sphinx could be far older than the commonly accepted timeline, potentially dating back to a time when the climate was much wetter. Supporters of this idea point to geological evidence showing that the Sahara Desert was once a much more hospitable environment, with rivers, lakes, and abundant vegetation. Over millennia, shifts in Earth's climate transformed this verdant region into the desert we know today. If the Sphinx was constructed during this wetter period, it would explain the unusual erosion patterns and raise fascinating questions about who built it and why. Could the Sphinx be a relic of a much older civilization, one that thrived in a climate vastly different from our own? This theory opens up a whole new perspective on the Sphinx's history, challenging us to rethink what we thought we knew about its origins. As we consider how the environment shaped the Sphinx's past, it's also worth exploring how modern efforts are working to preserve its future. Over the centuries, the Sphinx has faced countless threats, from natural erosion to human intervention. Next, we'll take a closer look at the ongoing restoration projects aimed at protecting this iconic monument for generations to come. These efforts not only highlight the Sphinx's enduring significance, but also remind us of the delicate balance between preserving history and adapting to the challenges of a changing world. The Sphinx has stood as a silent sentinel for millennia, but time and the elements have not been kind to this ancient marvel. Restoration efforts to preserve its grandeur date back to ancient Egypt itself. Records suggest that Pharaoh Thutmose IV, who ruled in the 14th century BCE, was among the first to attempt restoring the monument. According to legend, the Sphinx appeared to him in a dream, urging him to clear the sand that had nearly buried it. This act of restoration was more than just maintenance. It was a testament to the Sphinx's enduring significance across generations. Fast forward to the modern era, and the challenges of preserving such an ancient structure have only grown more complex. In the 1800s, early European explorers and archaeologists began efforts to stabilize the Sphinx, but their methods were often crude by today's standards. Some used materials like cement and iron, which over time caused more harm than good. The well-intentioned but misguided attempts of the past highlight the delicate balance required in restoration. How do you protect a monument without erasing the very history you're trying to preserve? One of the most controversial restoration projects took place in the 1980s, when a team attempted to repair the Sphinx's deteriorating limestone body. Critics argued that the modern materials used altered the monument's original appearance, raising questions about authenticity. These controversies remind us that restoration isn't just about fixing what's broken, it's about respecting the story the Sphinx tells. Every chip, every crack, and every weathered surface is a chapter in its long history. Today, preservation efforts are guided by advanced technology and a deeper understanding of ancient construction techniques. Laser scanning and 3D modeling allow experts to assess damage with unprecedented precision, while careful analysis ensures that materials used in restoration are as close as possible to those used by the original builders. Yet, even with these modern tools, the question remains: how do we preserve the Sphinx without erasing the clues it holds about its true age? Every layer of restoration adds to its story, but it also risks obscuring the evidence that could unlock its oldest secrets. As we continue to protect this iconic monument, we're not just preserving stone, we're safeguarding a connection to a past that still holds mysteries waiting to be uncovered. How do these efforts shape our understanding of the Sphinx's origins, and what might future discoveries reveal about its enigmatic history? Now, let's turn our attention to what ancient texts might reveal about the Sphinx. One of the most intriguing sources is the Egyptian Book of the Dead, a collection of spells and prayers meant to guide the deceased through the afterlife. Within these texts, there are references to a lion-like guardian figure, often interpreted by scholars as a representation of the Sphinx. This connection suggests that the Sphinx wasn't just a physical monument, but also held deep symbolic meaning in Egyptian spirituality, possibly serving as a protector of sacred spaces or a guide for the soul's journey. Moving beyond Egypt, Greek writers also left behind fascinating accounts of the Sphinx. The famous Greek historian Herodotus, for example, wrote about the monument during his travels in Egypt. While his descriptions are more observational than interpretive, they offer a glimpse into how the Sphinx was perceived by outsiders in antiquity. Even more intriguing are the Greek myths that depict the Sphinx as a riddling creature, blending human intellect with the strength of a lion. Could these stories hint at a deeper understanding of the Sphinx's original purpose, perhaps as a symbol of wisdom and mystery? But what's truly captivating is how these ancient texts might hold clues to the Sphinx's origins. Some researchers point to the alignment of the Sphinx with celestial bodies, suggesting it could have served as an astronomical marker or even a calendar of sorts. This idea bridges the gap between mythology and science, hinting that the Sphinx's creators saw it as more than just a statue. It might have been a tool for understanding the cosmos. And that brings us to our next question. Could the Sphinx's position and design have been intentionally tied to the stars? Let's explore that possibility next. Now, let's turn our attention to the stars, specifically the precession of the equinoxes. This astronomical phenomenon refers to the gradual shift of Earth's rotational axis over a cycle of about 26,000 years. Imagine Earth as a spinning top, wobbling ever so slightly as it rotates. This wobble causes the position of the stars and constellations to shift very slowly over time, meaning the night sky you see today is not the same as the one our ancestors observed thousands of years ago. Here's where things get fascinating. Some researchers believe the Sphinx's alignment with the constellation Leo during a specific era might hold clues to its true age. According to this theory, the Sphinx's lion-like body could symbolize Leo, and its alignment with the constellation would have been exact around 10,500 years ago. This would place the Sphinx's origins far earlier than the conventional date of around 2,500 BC. What makes this theory so compelling is the precision required to align a monument with celestial events. If the Sphinx was intentionally designed to mirror the stars, it suggests a level of astronomical knowledge and architectural skill that challenges our understanding of ancient civilizations. Could the Sphinx be a time capsule, pointing us to an era when the skies looked very different? This connection between the Sphinx and the stars opens up a world of possibilities about its role in ancient cosmology. Was it merely a monument, or did it serve as a celestial marker, a way to track the passage of time or even predict astronomical events? As we explore these questions further, we'll dive deeper into how the Sphinx might have been intertwined with the ancient world's understanding of the cosmos. The Sphinx, with its enigmatic gaze fixed eternally toward the horizon, has long been a subject of fascination. But what if its purpose goes beyond mere symbolism or artistic achievement? Some researchers suggest that the Sphinx might have played a role in an ancient cosmological system, acting as a marker for celestial events or even aligning with the stars themselves. Ancient cultures often intertwined astronomy, mythology, and architecture, creating structures that served both practical and spiritual purposes. The Sphinx, positioned on the Giza Plateau, could be one such masterpiece designed to reflect humanity's connection to the cosmos. Consider the alignment of the Sphinx with the rising sun during the equinoxes, a phenomenon that has led some to theorize it was a solar symbol. Others point to its orientation toward the constellation Leo during certain epochs, suggesting it might have been part of a grand celestial map. This blend of astronomy and mythology isn't unique to the Sphinx. Pyramids, temples, and even entire cities were often constructed with the heavens in mind. The ancient Egyptians believed that the stars were the realm of the gods, and their monuments were built to mirror this sacred relationship. But the Sphinx's potential role in ancient cosmology might not end with its outward alignment. Some researchers speculate that its purpose could extend beneath the surface, hinting at hidden chambers or passages that may hold clues to its true significance. Could these spaces, if they exist, reveal even more about the Sphinx's connection to the stars or its role in ancient rituals? The idea of undiscovered secrets beneath the Sphinx's paws or within its body adds another layer of mystery to this already captivating monument. As we ponder the Sphinx's celestial ties, it's impossible not to wonder what lies beneath. Could the answers to its mysteries be hidden in plain sight, waiting to be uncovered? The next piece of this puzzle might just be waiting below the sands, where history and legend converge. Beneath the iconic silhouette of the Sphinx lies a mystery that has captivated explorers and researchers for centuries: the possibility of hidden chambers and tunnels buried deep within the Earth. Over the years, ground-penetrating radar and other advanced technologies have revealed anomalies beneath the Sphinx's paws and around its base, hinting at the existence of unexplored spaces. Some experts believe these could be natural cavities, while others argue they might be man-made structures, deliberately concealed for reasons we can only speculate about. One of the most compelling theories suggests these chambers could be burial sites, perhaps housing the remains of ancient rulers or high priests. The idea isn't far-fetched. Many Egyptian monuments, like the pyramids, were built as elaborate tombs. But there's another tantalizing possibility. These hidden spaces might have served as repositories of ancient knowledge. Could they contain scrolls, artifacts, or even records of a civilization far older than we've ever imagined? Some researchers point to ancient texts and legends that speak of secret vaults holding the wisdom of a lost age, guarded by the Sphinx itself. The significance of these potential chambers goes beyond mere curiosity. If they exist, they could rewrite our understanding of the Sphinx's purpose. Was it merely a guardian statue, or did it serve as a gateway to something far more profound? The idea of undiscovered spaces beneath the Sphinx raises questions about what its creators intended to protect or hide. Could these chambers hold clues to a forgotten chapter of human history, one that connects the Sphinx to an even older civilization? As we ponder these possibilities, it's worth considering how much we still don't know about this ancient marvel. Every new discovery beneath the sands of Giza brings us closer to unraveling the Sphinx's secrets. But until we can explore these hidden chambers firsthand, their true purpose remains one of history's most intriguing mysteries. What if the answers we seek are just beneath our feet, waiting to be uncovered? Now, let's turn our attention to one of the most intriguing and hotly debated theories surrounding the Sphinx, the Orion Correlation Theory. This idea, first proposed by researcher Robert Bovell in the 1980s, suggests that the Sphinx and the Great Pyramids of Giza were deliberately aligned to mirror the stars of Orion's belt. According to this theory, the positions of the three main pyramids correspond almost exactly to the three stars in Orion's belt, while the Sphinx itself is said to represent the constellation Leo. But what does this celestial alignment imply about the Sphinx's age and the knowledge of its builders? Proponents of the theory argue that this precise astronomical alignment points to a far older date for the Sphinx than mainstream Egyptology suggests. They claim that the stars of Orion's belt would have aligned with the pyramids lay out only once in history around 10,500 years ago. If true, this would place the Sphinx's construction in a time long before the generally accepted date of 2500 B.C. But critics are quick to point out that the theory relies heavily on speculative interpretations of ancient Egyptian beliefs, and there's limited archaeological evidence to support such an early date. What's fascinating, though, is how this theory challenges us to rethink the capabilities and intentions of ancient civilizations. Were the builders of the Sphinx and the pyramids not just skilled architects but also master astronomers? Could they have encoded knowledge of the cosmos into their monuments, leaving behind a message for future generations? These questions open the door to even more speculative ideas, like the possibility that the Sphinx's origins might be connected to forces beyond our current understanding. And speaking of forces beyond our understanding, this brings us to another captivating angle: the idea that the Sphinx might have ties to ancient aliens. Could it be that this enigmatic monument holds clues to extraterrestrial contact in humanity's distant past? Let's explore that possibility next. One of the most intriguing and hotly debated theories surrounding the Sphinx is the idea that its creation involved extraterrestrial intervention. This concept, often popularized by shows like Ancient Aliens, suggests that the precision, scale, and advanced knowledge required to build such a monument might have been beyond the capabilities of ancient humans. Proponents of this theory point to the Sphinx's alignment with celestial bodies, its seemingly disproportionate head-to-body ratio, and the mysterious erosion patterns on its surface as potential evidence of alien influence. They argue that such features could indicate knowledge or technology that ancient civilizations simply didn't possess. However, mainstream archaeologists and historians remain skeptical. They argue that the Sphinx's construction, while impressive, aligns with the known capabilities of ancient Egyptian society. The alignment with celestial bodies, for example, reflects the Egyptians' deep understanding of astronomy, a skill they demonstrated in other structures like the pyramids. The erosion patterns, often cited as evidence of water weathering from a much older time, are more likely the result of wind and sand over millennia. As for the head-to-body ratio, some researchers suggest that the head was recarved at a later date, possibly to represent a different pharaoh, rather than being a sign of extraterrestrial design. While the Ancient Aliens theory captures the imagination and offers a tantalizing "what if," it's important to approach it with a critical eye. The Sphinx's enduring mystery lies not in proving or disproving alien involvement, but in understanding the ingenuity and ambition of the civilization that built it. Whether carved by human hands or guided by otherworldly forces, the Sphinx remains a testament to the unresolved questions of our past. Its secrets continue to challenge and inspire, leaving us to wonder what other stories might be hidden beneath the sands of time. The Sphinx stands as more than just a monument. It's a symbol of humanity's endless fascination with the past. Even after centuries of study, it refuses to give up all its secrets, teasing us with questions that science can't yet fully answer. What is it about this ancient guardian that keeps us coming back generation after generation? Perhaps it's the way it bridges the gap between the known and the unknown, a tangible link to a civilization so advanced yet so distant from our own. On one hand, archaeologists and historians have uncovered remarkable details about the Sphinx's construction, its alignment with the stars, and its possible role in ancient Egyptian culture. These discoveries ground us in facts, offering a glimpse into the ingenuity of those who built it. Yet, on the other hand, there's an undeniable allure to what remains unexplained. Could the weathering patterns on its body suggest it's older than we think? What hidden chambers, if any, lie beneath its pores? These unanswered questions invite us to dream, to speculate, and to keep searching. This balance between scientific inquiry and the mystery that surrounds the Sphinx is what makes it so compelling. It's not just a relic of the past, it's a living puzzle that challenges us to think beyond the boundaries of what we know. And in doing so, it reminds us that history isn't just about facts and figures, it's about the stories we tell, the questions we ask, and the sense of wonder that drives us forward. As we reflect on the Sphinx's enduring mystery, we're reminded that some of the greatest discoveries begin not with answers, but with curiosity. From its weathered stone to the secrets it may still hold, the Sphinx continues to inspire us to explore, to question, and to imagine what lies beyond the horizon of our understanding. So, what have we uncovered today? The Sphinx, that iconic guardian of the Giza Plateau, may not be the straightforward enigma we've long assumed. From geological evidence suggesting water erosion patterns dating back thousands of years earlier than mainstream timelines, to alternative theories proposing connections to lost civilizations, the case for an older Sphinx is compelling. These ideas challenge the conventional narrative, pushing us to reconsider not just the age of the Sphinx, but the very foundations of human history. Could it be that this monumental figure holds clues to a civilization far older and more advanced than we've ever imagined? The implications are profound. If the Sphinx is indeed older, it reshapes our understanding of ancient engineering, culture, and even the timeline of human achievement. It forces us to ask, what else have we misunderstood about our past? And if this one monument could hold such secrets, what else might be waiting to be discovered beneath the sands of time? As we close this exploration, let's leave you with this question. What other mysteries does the Sphinx guard? Could there be hidden chambers, lost records, or even deeper layers of history still waiting to be uncovered? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. And if you're as captivated by these ancient mysteries as we are, don't forget to subscribe. Together, we'll keep uncovering the secrets of our shared past, one discovery at a time.